राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Friday. It is 27th of June, and it is Ashadha Masa, Vamana Masa, Sukla Paksham, Vidya Tithi. So there is one Vaishnava today. Yes, sir. Two Vaishnava events specifically. One is the Radha Yatra in Jagannath Puri, and the other event is a disappearance of Sri Swarupa Damodara Goswami and Shivananda Sena. Okay, so we shall read a few lines from the special Vaishnavas about the events. Jagannath Puri Radha Yatra. And also there are so many large and small Radha Yatras are also going on in the UK and also throughout the world. Okay, so from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya chapter 13, the summary, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Radha Yatra. A summary of this chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya as follows. After bathing early in the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the deities Jagannatha, Baladeva and Subhadra get aboard their three cars. This function is called Pond Vijaya. So at that time, King Prataparudra took a broom with a golden handle and began to cleanse the road. Lord Jagannath took permission from the goddess of fortune and then started in the car for the Gundicha temple. The road to the temple led along a broad sandy beach, and on the both sides of the road were residential quarters, houses, and gardens. Along that road, the servants called Gaudas began to pull the cars. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided his Sankirtana party into 7 divisions, with 2 mridangas in each division. There were altogether 14 mridangas. While performing Kirtana, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited various symptoms of transcendental ecstasy, and Jagannatha and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exchanged their feelings very blissfully. When the cars reached the place known as Balagandi, the devotees offered the deities simple food. At this time, in a nearby garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees took a brief rest from the dancing. Okay, so, and there is further pastimes of that Jagannath Rath Yatra. So kind of just a mood is like there was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. Okay, so that is about the Jagannath Rath Yatra. So about Damodara Goswami, sorry, Swarupa Damodara Pandita disappearance is okay, so Shri Swarupa Damodara Goswami, he is the close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he has seen all pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So just I will read a few lines about Swarupa Damodara Goswami. Is the eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His previous name was Shri Purushottama Acharya, and he resided at Navadvip. He was always present with Mahaprabhu. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his pastimes of accepting sannyasa, Swarupa Damodar became like a madman. And journeying to Varanasi, he also accepted sannyasa from one sannyasi named Chaitanyananda. His sannyasa guru ordered him that you should yourself study the Vedanta and also teach it to others. Sri Purushottamacharya didn't accept the garments of sannyasa, but simply gave up his siksha and the Brahmana thread. Therefore, his name became Swarup, a brahmachari name. Thereafter, by the order of his guru, he came to Sri Nilachal, where he again met Mahaprabhu. Then one day, Swarup Damodar, who was very intimate with Mahaprabhu and the ocean of the mellows of devotion, came to Sri Jagannath Puri. His previous name was Purushottamacharya and he resided at Navdeep at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Seeing that Mahaprabhu had accepted sannyasa, okay, it is repeated. So Swarupa Damodar Goswami's scholarship was practically unlimited. He spoke very little with others and preferred to remain alone. Thus, very few were aware of his actual position. He was completely conversant with the understanding of the mellows of devotion to Sri Krishna, and his body was fully imbued with love for him. He was yet, though, a second Mahaprabhu. Whenever anyone wanted to present to Mahaprabhu some book, verse, or song that they had composed, Swarup Damodar would first hear what they had written before it could be presented to Mahaprabhu. If these compositions contained any points which were in contradiction to the superior position of bhakti, as concluded in scriptures, then hearing these writings would not be a source of transcendental pleasure for Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Swarupa Gosai would first examine what had been composed, and if it was untainted, then it could be presented to Mahaprabhu. Usually, he would recite Sri Gita Govinda and the writings of Chandidas and Vidyapati for the transcendental happiness of Mahaprabhu. In music and singing, he was like a Gandharva, and in the knowledge of the Shastras, he was like Bruhaspati. There was no one to compare with him in the talent and intelligence. He was extremely dear to Sri Advaita and Nityananda Prabhu, and was the life and soul of devotees like Srivas and others. When Sri Swarupa Damodar arrived in Puri from Kasi, he recited this shloka in the praise of Mahaprabhu. O you who are the personification of mercy, Sri Chaitanya, that which very easily causes grief to retreat far away and which is spotlessly pure, which causes the appearance of the highest happiness and by whose appearance disputation over the intricacies of scriptural statement ceases, that which causes the spirit to become extremely agitated in ecstatic love by a shower of grace and beauty, may that extremely expansive and auspicious mercy by its sweetness and dignity shine its rays upon me. Sri Chaitanya Chandradai Natak, Shri, seeing that Swarup Damodar was offering his dandavats to him, Mahaprabhu picked him up and as he embraced him, he said, I saw in a dream this morning that you had come, just as a blind man finds unlimited happiness by regaining his eyesight. So I am feeling by regaining your association. Swarupa Damodar replied, Prabhu, please forgive me. By leaving you and running off to Varanasi, I made a great mistake. I don't have even a hint of attachment to your lotus feet, and I have actually become a great sinner by leaving you and going to a distant country. I gave up your association, but you didn't give me up. Binding the rope of mercy around my neck, you brought me again to your lotus feet. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 10th sloka, 10th chapter, hearing these words of Swarup Damodar spoken in such humility, Mahaprabhu again embraced him and said, Krishna is very kind. He has very mercifully brought us together again. Mahaprabhu kept Swarup Damodar close to him. Whenever Mahaprabhu became immersed in a particular ecstatic emotion, Swarup Damodar would perform a Sankirtan in that particular mood. During this period, Shri Rai Ramananda also arrived from Vidyanagar in South India. Thus, the two of them, Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai, would enhance the ecstatic moods of Mahaprabhu by singing different songs and reciting various poetic verses. During the day, Mahaprabhu would engage in his pastimes of Sankirtan with his devotees, and at night he would taste the mellows of the ecstatic love of Sri Sri Radha Krishna in the company of these two. as Lalita and Vishaka were very intimate with Srimati Radharani. Rai Ramananda and Swarup Damodar were similarly intimate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swarup Damodar's place of residence in Puri was the um, Satas, Satasan Mat. This is located near Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhakti Kutir, near the ocean at Swargadwar. Mahaprabhu entrusted him to look after and instruct Raghunath Das Goswami. Swarup Damodar Goswami disappeared on the second day of the bright fortnight in the month of Ashada. Okay, so that is about Swarupa Damodara Goswami and Sivananda Sena. Sivananda Sena is also, he is the father of a great devotee who has composed Gaur Gana Desha Deepika. So there is a few lines. Okay. Okay, about the so Sivananda Sena, so he is his past incarnation was Veeradhuti. So he was a Vaidya by caste. In his past incarnation, he was a Veeradhuti. His Sripata was located at Kumarhatta at Halishara. Sivananda had three sons named Chaitanya Dasa, Ramadasa, and Paramananda Dasa, or Kavikarnapura. Paramananda Dasa is Kavikarnapura. Sivananda was one of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intimate associates. As directed by the Lord, he escorted the Gaudiya devotee to Nilachala every year, providing them with food and lodging along the way. So during one pilgrimage to Nilachala, a dog joined their party and Sivananda took personal care of him, even paying extra fare to allow the dog to cross across the river along with them. So one night Sivananda was detained for some time and arrived at the camp late in the evening, only to find that the dog had not been given prasada. And despite thorough search, the dog was nowhere to be found. The Sivananda did not accept any food that night. When their party arrived in Nilachala, they found the dog in the presence of the Lord. The dog was eating some coconut given by the Lord and was chanting Krishna Krishna. Sivananda offered his humble obeisances at the feet of the dog and apologized. On another occasion, Sivananda was detained and thus accommodations for the party had not been made. It was quite late at night and Lord Nityananda appeared to be restless and hungry. Thus he said, I am so hungry, yet still there is no sign of Sivananda. Therefore I curse his three sons to die. Hearing this, Sivananda's wife began to cry. When Sivananda returned and his wife informed him what had happened, he consoled her, saying, Why are you crying? Let my three sons die if it is the desire of Lord Nityananda. Sivananda then went before Lord Nityananda, who kicked him. Sivananda, however, was extremely happy and said, Lord, at last I know that you have accepted this wretched soul as your servant. Vasudeva Datta was an extraordinarily generous man. Thus, he never saved any money. Lord Chaitanya therefore directed Sivananda as follows. You should become the accountant of Vasudeva and take charge of his expenses. So there is further pastimes due to the time. So just stop there. So Kavi Karnapura, so he has composed another very great book. I think it is Gauragana Desha Deepika. So okay, so that is from the events perspective. We shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. So because the service to the Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya, Sivananda Sena has got very beautiful children, and the children become great poets as well, and they have composed good literatures. We are all relishing those things. Okay, we shall move to Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhava is speaking to Vidura. So about when Uddhava was asked by Krishna that Uddhava, you go to the Badrikashrama, but knowing the intention of the Lord that he wanted to destroy his family, so Uddhava, he has followed behind the Lord. So aham chokto bhagavata prapannaatya harenaha bhadrim tvam prayahiti swakulam sanjihishvana. And later on, tatapi tad avipretam janan aham arindhama पृष्ठतो अन्वगमं बत्तुः पादविश्लेषणाक्षमः. I could not bear the separation from Krishna, so पृष्ठतो अन्वगमं, I went behind Krishna, बत्तुः पादविश्लेषणाक्षमः, because of intolerance due to the separation. I understand that Krishna has got plans to destroy his family. So likewise, Uddhava is saying to Vidura. So today, further he is saying that I have followed, later on, I have seen that Lord, he has sitting under a tree alone, and then he is just like thinking who is the protector of everyone. So he is now taking the shelter of the tree and sitting under a tree alone and thinking, and who is the abode of the goddess of fortune. And so on the banks of the Saraswati river, under that tree, that Ashwatha tree, he was sitting alone. And his form is immediately as soon as Buddha sees Krishna in that form, in a Shama color and with the four hands, completely free from all the virajam, is like no more material things. He's in his transcendental body and his body completely very peaceful and has got eyes like a very reddish and likewise yellow garments. Likewise, he is now sitting under a tree that Uddhava has seen, and immediately he recognizes, this is my Lord. Likewise, Uddhava is saying how he has met the Lord under the Ashwatha tree. He is relaying all these messages to Vidura. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 4th chapter, verse number 6 and 7. अद्राक्षमेकमासीनं विचिन्वन् दयितं पतिं श्रीनिकेतं सरस्वत्यां कृतकेतम् अकेतनम्. Adraksham ekam asinam. Adraksham. Oh Vidura, I have seen Adraksham ekam asinam. And ekam asinam. He is alone sitting, Vichinvan, and deeply thinking. Daitam patim. Daitam patim. He is a patron, protector. And patim, master. He is the master of us. He is my master and he is the master of the Yadu family. He is master of the universe. Daitam patim. Sriniketam Saraswatyam, and also he is abode of Sriniketam, shelter of the goddess of fortune, and Saraswatyam, and he is on the bank of the Saraswati river, Krutaketam Aketanam, and taking the shelter under that tree, Krutaketam. As generally people, they sit under who does not have any shelter. They go to a particular tree and take shelter under a tree. Likewise, Krutaketam Aketanam, but Aketanam, being situated without a shelter. Aketanam, like a homeless person. Krutaketam Aketanam. Adraksham Vichinvan Daitam Patim Sriniketam Saraswatyam Krutaketam Aketanam. So translation for this shloka. Thus following, I saw my patron and master, Lord Sri Krishna, sitting alone and deeply thinking, taking shelter on the bank of the river Saraswati, although he is the shelter of the goddess of fortune. And further he is saying how he said, what is the form he has seen? Shyamavadatam virajam prashant aruna lochanam durvishchaturbihi viditam Pitakoshambharenacham Shyamavadatam Virajam. And he has got a beautiful with black color, Shama color. Shamavadatam Virajam, with formula of pure goodness. Vishuddha Sattvam. Shamavadatam Virajam, Prasanta Aruna Lochanam, and he is always peaceful. And Aruna Lochanam, it is a reddish eyes. Aruna Lochanam, very reddish eyes. Durbihi Chaturbihi Viditam, and he has Durbihi. By the arms, he has got four. Durbihi Chaturbihi, four arms. Viditam, he is being recognized like that by Vidura. So when Lord was sitting with the four hands, and then Durbihi Chaturbihi Viditam, Pita Kausha Ambarenacha, Pita Kausham, yellow garment. Pita Kausham is the yellow silken garment, and then Ambarenacha with the garments. Ambarena means garments. And the color is the Pita Kausha. It is a silk, yellow silk garment. Shamavadatam Virijam, Prashanta Arunalochanam, Durbihi Chaturbihi Viditam, Pita Kausham Bharenacha. So here, the Lord's body is blackish, but is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, and very, very beautiful. His eyes are always peaceful, and they are reddish like the rising morning sun. I could immediately recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his four hands, different symbolic representations, and yellow silk garments. Okay, so the purport for the sixth shloka, can I request Saranya Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Those who are in the renounced order of life often take shelter underneath a tree. The Lord was found by Uddhava in that condition of taking shelter, as do persons who have no shelter. Because he is the proprietor of everything, everywhere is his shelter, and everywhere is under his shelter. The entire material and spiritual cosmic manifestation is sustained by him, and therefore he is the shelter of everything. So there was nothing astonishing in his taking shelter in the way of the unsheltered who are in the renounced order of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning those who are in the renounced order of life often take shelter underneath a tree. So this we see generally, some people who are homeless, they take the shelter of the tree and they sleep under the tree. Okay, so the Lord was found by the Buddha in that condition. So just like a Kudaketam Aketanam, just like a who does not have any shelter, likewise he is sitting under that tree. As do the persons who have no shelter, because he is the proprietor of everything everywhere. He is his shelter. So he is the shelter for everything, and he is the goddess of shelter for goddess of fortune. But still, he is alone, and this entire material and spiritual cosmic manifestation is sustained by him, and therefore he is the shelter of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavah mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhuda bhava samanvitaha mattah paravaram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. So this is Bhagavad Gita statement. So there is nothing beyond me. Everything comes from me. Everything sustains upon me. Likewise, Maya Radam Idam Sarvam Jagadavyakta Murtina. So many statements are there. So Krishna is source of everything. So there was nothing astonishing in his taking shelter in the way of unsheltered who are in the renounced order of life. Renounced order of life is, so here Sukadeva Goswami mentions some looking at the people, they were trying to accumulate so many things, but ignoring the spiritual identity of themselves. So he mentions, when there are ample earthly flats to lie on, what is the necessity of cots and beds? When one can use his own arms, what is the necessity of a pillow? When one can use the palms of his hands, what is the necessity of varieties of utensils? When there is ample covering or the skins of trees, what is the necessity of clothing? And then he further explains that, are there no torn clothes lying on the common road? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Do the rivers, being dried up, no longer supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of the mountains now closed? Or above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then do the learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard-earned wealth? So this is very deep and highly elevated statements. Like one should not depend on anyone except the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one must, in all times and circumstances, depend on the Lord. But though that does not mean one has to leave his existing conditions. It means sthanista gatam sutivan tano mano, the mind, body and activities. Yes, mind, words and active. So mind, words, and then bodily. So all these three actions must be executed only for the sake of Krishna. But so what it means, one has to carry out his duty, but it is only the life and soul. If he is going to the work to earn money, that is not the life and soul. It is a matter of duty. That is, but what is the life and soul must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his spiritual identity. And his destination is Gatir Bhatta Prabhu Sakshi. This is Nivasa Saranam Suhurut. Everything is Krishna. One has to know he is the Gati. Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramakaha, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriyaha, Vasudeva Parodharma, Vasudeva Paramdhanam, Vasudeva Paragatihi. Everything is the Vasudeva. Everything is Vasudeva. One has to take the shelter of Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabaha. So here Sukadeva Goswami says, why there are so many trees, why don't you take shelter? Why you need to go outside when there is a nice grass? You can sleep like a bed. Why you need separate bed when you have got hands as pillows? Why you need separate pillows? When you have got palms, why you need separate utensils to eat? So and when trees are giving the fruits and the forests are giving the roots and flowers, why you need to just go and depend on someone else? Likewise, his statements. So that is generally renounced order of life. Those people, they will go ichadvesha. Some this is completely free from material attachments, material associations. They depend on only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, that is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then here, Lord is always Shyamavadhatam Virijham Prashant Arunalochanam. This is one of the beautiful point. Arunalochanam is like a eyes or in the Arunodhayam. Whenever and early in the morning we see the sunrise and evening sunset, the beautiful sunrise spot. It is always visible. The beauty as soon as we see it, we immediately understand it is like a Krishna's eyes. And also in the evening, and we see when there is a ocean with lots of water, when there are elephants, we see these are the natural beauties one must always try to see and relish and remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The way elephant walks, it is like Mattavarana Gamini and Radharani when she is walking, comparing to the walking of an elephant. Elephant walks in such a beautiful way, very slowly and very grave, and it is no one can stop the elephant. Likewise, it walks. This is the natural beauties, and in the evening, the one has to see the moon every day in the sky in a very pleasant and clear sky. Those are the people relishing the life properly. Morning, seeing the morning sunrise, seeing the evening sunset, seeing the moon in the night, and seeing the water, the ocean water, and also the elephants like that. These are, even though we are seeing it, we are not satiated. And here, just giving the analogy, Arunalochanam. Krishna is always having Arunalochanam, reddish eyes. Shyamavadatam virijam prashant Arunalochanam. Durbihi cha durbihi viditam pita kausha ambharena cha. Pita kausha ambharena cha. So beautiful. Prasadhavimukham shashvat prasanna vadanekchanam. Sunasam subhram charakaporam Surasundharam, Charu, so many of descriptions of the Lord in different angles and combinations and permutations, all to glorify Krishna. Uttama Shloka Maulina, Uttama Shloka Charitam, Uttama Shloka Chetasam. So many things, combinations and permutations. And just only we need a particular context to describe the glory of beauty of Krishna. Okay, so in this context, Uddhava is describing Shyamamadhatam Virjam Prashant Arunalochanam Durbhihi Chaturbhihi Viditam Pita Kausham Bharena cha. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Bali Madana, September 17th, 1970, Calcutta. Okay, so can I request any unallocated devotee to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Bali Mardana, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your letter dated August 31st, 1970, and I have duly noted the contents. Regarding your opening a branch in Hong Kong, I have got all my blessings upon you. Do it immediately. So far, you're remaining on the governing body commission. I do not think that is a great burden. Do your best to serve in the commission by correspondence, but I prefer to see you a great preacher, and if possible, you may be relieved from responsibility of remaining a member of the governing body commission. You have already opened up several branches like Tokyo and Sydney, so please continue this opening of centers as many as possible in Fiji, Melbourne, etc. While we were coming through the Philippines on the way to Calcutta from Tokyo, we learned that in Manila they are also interested in our movement for Krishna consciousness, so that is another open field. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any points, Mataji, from this letter?
So in this letter, we get to know that in Hong Kong as well, the in Hong Kong as well, Srila Prabhupada is asking his devotee to devote his time to open a branch in Hong Kong, because he did very well when he opened several branches in Tokyo and in Sydney as well, and he knows, and he believes that he will be able to do the opening, uh, complete all the responsibilities that comes with opening. He knows that he will do it well, so I think he's asked him to go forward with opening of branch in Hong Kong. And he also looks forward to seeing him as a preacher, and maybe we can assume that he was very knowledgeable as well. And yes, and he also mentions that in Manila as well, there is a lot of interest in in Krishna consciousness movement, so they are also looking forward to open a branch in Manila soon, very soon. And yes, Prabhuji, that's it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely summarized. Any other comments, dear devotees? Saranya Mataji wanted to add anything?
Hare Krishna, nothing Prabhu Mataji has explained very nicely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So here everyone, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone will become an Acharya or Guru, something like that. Prabhupada always says that Prabhupada is desiring that all of his disciples must be great teachers. Everyone must be a Guru. And who knows the philosophy of Krishna? Yai Krishna Tattva Sei Guru Haya. Who knows the Krishna, they can become Guru. As simple as that. If you know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, you can become a Guru. As simple as that. Okay, so that is one point. And then who can become Guru? Who is Guru? Then who can preach Krishna consciousness? They can establish centers wherever they go. Siddhi Kuruvanti Siddhani Swantahastena Gadabhrita. Siddhi Kuruvanti Siddhani. They will, wherever they go, they will make that place as a pilgrimage because they say Krishna Katha. And Swantahastena Gadabhrita. They keep the Lord in their heart and they'll make that place as a pilgrimage. Okay, so that is Prabhupada. So wherever devotees are there, it will become uh, a temple, a tirtha. Okay, so the Prabhupada desires throughout the world, and also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desires, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicts this Hare Krishna movement will be spread throughout the world. Okay, so that Prabhupada has manifested most part of it, so still it is expanding, and then just it is expanding and expanding. We would see on one day everywhere it is in every town and village. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today is a Friday. There are no events from our Sangha perspective in the evening. And tomorrow we continue. So tomorrow I may not be available for morning after Japa session. So my family is going somewhere. I'm going with them as well. And also in the evening. So I request Devashish Prabhuji to help in the evening. And also if devotees cooperatively help in the evening session, that would be helpful. Okay, so that is updates from me. And Jagannath Rath Yatra fundraise, so that is now concluded. It is all closed now. If anything is there, maybe other devotees will take over that initiatives. Okay, that is from other perspective. And the devotees, if you have got any other, and also Jagannath Rath Yatra, it is on in the London Jagannath Rath Yatra, 20th of July, coming month. It is there are a few more weeks to go. Yeah, these are updates from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly do so. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
are you coming to the Rath Yatra London?
I desire to come there, Prabhuji, but I need to see the circumstances. If possible, I come with myself or with family.
Okay, Prabhu, Haribol. That'll be nice so that we can all get together and do the chanting together, Prabhu. It'll be nice if you can make it.
Yes, Prabhuji, sure.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Today is Jagannath Rath Yatra. So my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj Vyasa Puja is today. So in UK, we are celebrating tomorrow in Leicester. So tomorrow morning I have to go, so I cannot tell. That's why I tell you today, all of you. Happy Vyasa Puja, my Guru Maharaj Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that about the last puja with Guru Maharaj. Okay. Hope you will have a good association with your God brothers, God sisters.
Yes, Prabhuji. Is tomorrow too. Tomorrow 10 o'clock to starting, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. And any other devotees are coming from our Sangha, Mataji? Okay.
Tomorrow, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. One I know he is going to East London. I don't know how many people going, but we are going. I request to with Hemlata Mataji, and Hemlata Mataji also going with us, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing those things.
Yes. Haribol.
Any other update? Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस एवरीवन। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंद।